Number one, understand this. People don't buy because of logic. People buy because of emotion and they justify it with logic. People buy based on emotions and they justify it with logic. I want you to think of something that you want to buy in your life. It could be a car, it could be a house, it could be anything. Just want you to picture that. Once you have that in your mind, I want you to ask yourself this question. Why do you want to buy it? Why do you want to buy that particular item? Why do you want to own that item? Why is that? Maybe maybe it's a new suit. It looks good on you. Maybe it's a new dress. Maybe it's a new car. Maybe it's a new house. Maybe it's a vacation. But why do you buy it? I want you to think a little bit deeper. If you peel through the layers, I think you'll realize you are buying emotions. Maybe you buy the item because of greed. You want to make money or you want to save money. Or maybe it's because of generosity, that by buying this item is going to help other people. If you notice sometimes, even there are companies out there, if you buy this particular product, they're going to donate a certain amount to charities. Maybe you buy because of generosity. Maybe because of shame, that if I don't buy this, I'll look foolish. If I don't own this, I'll look foolish. Or maybe it's fear, that if I don't buy this, I'm going to be missing out. I don't want to miss out.
Woo! Talk about dropping some absolute gems for the morning. A little bit of Dan Locke to go ahead and start the day. Good morning, dreamers. I hope everybody's feeling good. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Thursday, March 14th. I'm telling you, this month is just flying by. We're almost here into April, getting out of the month of March Madness. And let's just say there's a lot of madness going down in this month. A lot of amazing things are here and on the way. So for today, fam, I've got an amazing topic, and it's just a little bit of what Dan Locke was touching on just now. It is strictly really getting into the fact of facts tell, stories sell. So I love it. Great topic to get into for today. Let me see a little bit of gratitude down below. How's everybody feeling? What is a couple of pieces of gratitude to start the day? And let me get live on IG, and we're going to go ahead and get locked and loaded. Love to see it. Here we go. Facts tell, stories. So, love it. Here we go. IG is live. Good to see you, fam. So grateful for God. So grateful to be alive. So grateful to be on here with each and every single one of you. We've got the morning routine and rituals knocked out. We've got our journaling, our meditation. We're feeling good. Got some grounding out in the sun. We've got our alkaline water to go ahead and start the day. Love it, love it, love it. Marvin, it's good to see you, King. What's going on, fam? Awesome. So today I want everybody to really just think about things in a different perspective, right? The last time that you bought something online, the last time that you made a big purchase in your life, drop it down below. What are some big purchases that you guys can think that you've made? Or what is one of the last couple of things that you've bought online? And you'll notice a couple of different patterns. And Dan Locke gave it right at the beginning. He said, for most of us, when you really go back and think about why it is that we bought something, we don't always necessarily buy with logic. In fact, a lot of us actually buy things off of emotion, right? Whether that be we want to fit in with a certain status. Maybe we want to fit in with a certain brand or a certain community of people. Whatever that might be, right? It's interesting. But this is how a lot of us work. This is simply why we end up buying things, because maybe we want to fit in. Maybe we don't want the FOMO, right? A lot of individuals are going to be getting their event tickets right at the end because they're going to be getting FOMO. They don't want to miss out. They don't want to miss out on the experiences and the culture. So there's a reason why the 1%, they understand this at a deeper level, right? Think about even our business. Mentors leading mentors, moms, loving moms, making lasting memories. Shane, what's going on, fam? And when you really think about it, it's so true. This business is all about stories. Because if you really think about it, anybody can go on Google, anybody can go on YouTube, and they can go look up trading. They can go look up crypto. But the difference is, you see, even for myself, I didn't have anybody to ask questions. I didn't have anybody to be able to be a fly on the wall, ask questions, go over the charts, learn how to really actually analyze and use AI technology. You see, none of that was available. So when I got locked into this platform, I go back and I think about it. Yes, the facts, Forex is a $7 trillion a day industry. That's a fact. Okay. But that wasn't necessarily the biggest thing that excited me. One of the biggest things that excited me, going back to think about it, was emotion. Getting connected with a community of individuals who had the success, who had the results, who had the lifestyle that I was looking for. So even when it comes to almost anything in life, you guys can go back and identify if we bought it off of emotion or if we bought it off of logic. Okay. That's the first thing I want to touch on today. So remember, anybody that's watching your stories, it's the same thing. Yes, we can tell all the facts and all the figures about Forex, about e-commerce, and about building all these digital streams, but they really want to hear your story. You see, and a story is three pieces. A story is lovely. It's good to see you, Shane and Talene, in the building. A story is three pieces, okay? It's where we were, where we're at, and where we're going, right? But now pay attention. There's a piece inside of these three steps that is an absolute game changer that's going to allow almost anybody to be able to relate to your story. And here's what it is. You ready? The first piece, where we were, from where does that we're at right now? Think about it. Before you joined the academy, before that we got around this circle of influence, all of this plethora of knowledge and books and journaling and gratitude, all of this information, what was the change that happened from where we were to where we're at? I'll tell you, even for me, I was living out of my car. I was $30,000 in debt. I had no job, and I was the average of the 5 people that I was hanging out with most. And my starting 5 was broke. Guess what I was? Number 6, I was broke as well. So one of the first things that really kicked me off was getting around that community, right? My mentor said, go find 5 individuals that have goals, that have visions, maybe a millionaire or two, and then go see how they live. Go see what they're tuning into every day. Go see what their eyes are seeing on a daily basis. And it's completely different. But that was step 1 for me. Getting around that like-minded community, thinking much bigger, much sooner. So that's the shift that most people can relate. Because think about it. How many of us probably know people who are hanging out with nothing but negative influence? Or maybe drop some 2s down below if you guys know some people like this, who are hanging out with negative influence, who aren't growing, who are going to the same spots, wasted Wednesday, Thursday, and coming back broke on Monday. We all know people like that. And I got to a point when I got out of school that I didn't want to end up in that same scenario that most people were living in. So it came to a point where this is part of my story. I had to think a way I've never thought, to feel a way I've never felt, to do things I've never done, to get results that were never experienced before. And you think about anybody that we're talking to, anybody that we're giving value to on social media, if we went through that journey, well, guess what? They're probably going to go through that journey as well. You see, a lot of us at the beginning, this is literally about rewiring a lot of the things that we know, a lot of the things that we were taught growing up. So a big piece of this, that's why Sean calls it personal undevelopment. Okay. So 3 pieces to the story: where we were, where we're at. What was the pain point? What was the shift? Why did we take this step to actually get involved trading, to get involved learning about crypto, to actually start diving into building an e-commerce store? What was the shift? What was the moment? And that right there, this is how the average person can relate. This is how anybody looking at your story is going to be able to see, well, I'm going to school. I have a full-time job. I don't have a lot of money right now. Fam, I was so broke at the beginning. I literally had to sell my TV. I had to sell my Xbox to get started for $200. That's how I got involved. That's how I got introduced to the industry. So somebody hearing my story about how I had to sell my TV and my Xbox just to start, and they're working a full-time job, they're working 40 hours a week. I'm looking at their story going out twice every weekend, and they're telling me they can't afford $200. So when they hear my story that I sold things, it's going to allow them to see, like, wow, if they made it happen with a lot less, imagine what I can do with a lot more. So remember that if you feel unqualified with your story, the unqualified makes us qualified. I wasn't necessarily qualified when I first got started. Imagine if my mentor judged me living out of my car, no job, nothing really going well in my life. This is why you can never judge a book by their cover. Because here's the third part of people's story. Where we were, where we're at, and last but not least is going to be where we're going. That's the vision. So for every single one of you, what is the vision that we see for ourselves coming into 2024? I'll tell you what I see for all of us. I see growth. I see abundance. I see transformation. I see learning new skill sets. I see tapping into building one of the best bodies that we've ever built, truly growing in all different aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, right? All of these different areas is what I see for 2024. So my question for you is, what do you see for this year? Because there's only two types of people, just like Sadhguru says, somebody sitting in lack or somebody sitting in joy and abundance. And I promise you right now, to be able to have that vision, most people don't have that right now. Drop a 5 down below if you guys know people in your life, if you hear everyday conversations who are surrounded with fear, who are surrounded with the vibration of misery. We all know individuals like that, but the power of this community, the power of the 5%, all being able to collectively come together, utilize these skill sets, grow as a family, better each and every single one of ourselves. This is why they say, light ourselves on fire and the world will come and watch us burn. And we're going to create an absolute dynasty full of individuals tapped in, growing, elevating, getting into this full potential. And I believe that's what 2024 is all about. Yes, we're going to have trials. Yes, we're going to have tribulations, but we're turning burdens into blessings, changing the way we see things so that we see things can change. So the last thing I want to end it off with today is this, okay? If you go back, and I'm gonna drop the link for you guys to go and check it out. You can type it in, Dan Lok Pen, and go watch that video and let me know your thoughts after. But here's what he says. He says, why is it, watch this, why is it that we can take a normal blue ink pen, simple pen, we can literally take out the bottom, right? But then we can take a pen like, let's say, one that's called a John Blanc pen. FOMC, King Cam, it's good to see you. Gino, my man, what's happening? Why is it that we can take a normal blue ink pen and a John Blanc presidential pen? This one is worth $300. This one is worth $199. They both have the same functions. They both write with blue ink. They're both the same size. They both hold the same amount of ink. Yeah, one might have a little grip on it, but why is this worth $300 and this one's only worth $199? You see, because a John LeBlanc pen has a story, right? That John specific pen was a presidential pen. It has a story behind it, and that a story creates value. There's a meme online about two bricks, right? One is a plain brick. The other brick is a Supreme brick. And it talks about there's a $500 above the Supreme and there's a zero above the other brick. And it says, well, why is one brick basically worth nothing and the other one's worth hundreds of dollars? Because Supreme has a story. Think about everything that we're wearing right now. Everything. From our shoes, Nike. Nike's nothing but a swoosh, but just that little tiny swoosh adds a story and adds value. And now all of us, the moment that we think of Nike, we can think of their story. What is the story? What is the slogan of Nike? Drop it down below. Who knows it? What's the slogan? You see, you don't even have to think about it. Subconsciously, it's just already there. Nike, just do it. So my question is, what is our slogan? When people come on our page, when people see us out in public, what is the first things that come to mind? Positivity, value, energy, gratitude, passion. All of these are beautiful ways to go ahead and put life into perspective, because truth be told, anybody that we look up to, any of the greats, these are some of the characteristics that we see. And guess what this is? This is part of their story. This is the character they were able to build throughout their story. You see, anybody that you see that's nice, that's kind, think about somebody like Robin Williams, one of the most kindest people on earth, but he went through HE double hockey sticks to be able to get to that point. And it was his story that made Robin Williams so impactful. Robin Williams came from nothing, for those of you guys that don't know. Oprah Winfrey got rejected multiple times. Michael Jordan didn't even make his high school basketball team. So it's these stories that give value to products and that also give value to people, companies, anything that we look at. It is the story that gives value. So my question is, what is the story for our last name? Drop it down below. What's everybody's last name? Because my goal with this talk right here, if you take away one piece, is to let that story of that last name ring. This is why we journal. This is why I fell in love with journaling, because I started to realize that we are the authors of our story. We get to literally wake up every day, create and write our story from our minds. We're the authors, we're the editors. God gets to go ahead and play his part. And together, we all can create something magical. So family, I'm excited. I'm fired up. This is what it's all about. Yes, McDowell, let them know. Put it down below. These are the last names that are going to be ringing because we stepped into our greatness. Generational. My mentor says all the time, he says, you think you're dreaming big? Imagine one person impacting 600 generations. Impacting 600 generations. What would life look like if we thought that deep, if we had that depth of a vision? Rush, Malivert. Yes. Do you believe that? Do you believe that your name can touch generations to come? Your impact can touch children's children? Your value can lead on long after we're here? Because here's the last thing I want to touch on. There's 2 times that we are last talked about. 2 times. The day that we pass and the day that our last name stops echoing. So let me ask you guys this, stand it off. When was the last time that you've ever heard of your great-great-grandfather? Do you even know his name? How about your great-great-grandmother? Do you know her name? If the answer is no, isn't that interesting? Maybe the reason being is they didn't leave significant value for that name to ring. So the goal with today is remember your greatness. Remember how powerful each and every single one of us are. And let's tap into this greatness and let's go out and turn these dreams into reality. So with that being said, I love you, fam. Let's go be great. Let's be the ones to let this last name be remembered. And yes, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Let's have a phenomenal day. Wrapping up close to the end of the week. Anything you need, we're here for you every step of the way, fam. And let's go out and get 1% better every day. See you guys in a few. It's game time, fam. Let's grow.